Welcome back to the show. I'm here with Alan Graham from Counts Real Estate, and we're going to get some more real estate tips from a professional. Alan, welcome back to the show.
Hey, how are you doing, Don?
I'm doing really well. You know, we talked before we started today about selling homes and how I managed to sell my house in 10 days with the advice of a professional realtor. What would be some tips that you might want to give our audience if they're looking to sell their home or maybe move up or move out?
Well, the first thing is price your home right. And there's a popular misconception out there that if I add a lot of features to my home, expensive features, then I could just add the value to the price of the house. In reality, we need to do a market analysis to tell you what houses have sold in your neighborhood that are comparable to your home are selling for.
And that's what they call comps. I've heard that term.
That's a real estate term.
Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah. So they'll kind of get a sample of what's going on in your area?
Right, and we kind of see if the market is increasing or decreasing. We use the same formulas that most appraisers use, because ultimately when you sell that house, you're going to face an appraisal from a bank because most people are going to have to borrow money. Right. We do have one saying in the real estate, and this is kind of a tongue-in-cheek that I got from Rita Hanson I'd like to share with you. She said, it's always great to be the firstborn, the second wife, and the third realtor. And the reason for that is because by the time the third realtor lists the property, then they've got the people convinced that the price that they thought it would be.
The seller has come back down to earth and realized,
right.
Yeah, you're not sitting on a gold mine. But that's a psychological thing where a lot of people say, well, you know, I did all this landscaping and I did this kitchen and you've got all this sweat equity in the place that to you is worth a lot of money and you've got this emotional attachment to your home. But you really need a third party to come in and kind of talk you off the ledge and say, listen, guy, this is what other people are getting. This is what you're going to get if you price it right.
Most people do not understand that they are at the mercy of whoever sells their home the lowest in the neighborhood. So if somebody takes a bargain basement sale because they just want to get out of a home, that literally partially sets the price that your house will sell at. So that's an important issue in preparing to sell a home. And of course, most people watch HGTV today and see a lot of the things that they recommend. And we've got a few low cost, no cost suggestions that help you put a little mascara and a little lipstick on the house. And,
what else can you do besides pricing it right? I heard staging's important.
Well, you know, pricing it right to begin with, selecting the right company that has the connections with the internet. 93% of the people that purchase a house have already looked at that house on the internet. So whatever company you go with, they've got to have a huge internet presence. And we have over 35 websites at our company that we send our listings out to. The low-cost, no-cost things that we do for housing is most people have trees and shrubberies and things, and I tell them if they can't see a house, I can't sell a house. So it's always great to start on the outside and get your landscaping down. Internally, when we prepare to show the house, depersonalization helps out. It's great to have all the pictures of the Little League Baseball and your family and your grandmother and your mother-in-law and wedding pictures. But when somebody walks into a home like that we're showing, they feel like they're walking into an environment that's not theirs. And we would like for a couple to start taking ownership of the house the minute they walk in. A third thing would be to take half your clothes out of your closet. Closets are really big selling features in houses today. And if I go in and the closets are just packed and stuff stacked on the floors, it just doesn't look quite as appealing as if they've taken half the stuff out and already packed it in storage.
So psychologically, it sounds like the buyers have to envision themselves living there, and they can't do that if your closets are packed and there's family pictures all over the place and the shrubs are out of control. Alan, is there such a thing as curb appeal? I've heard that as soon as they pull up, they kind of make up their minds as soon as they see the outside.
It's amazing that most people that we work with on listing houses, they don't understand most buyers and sellers, or excuse me, buyers can't visualize a home the best possible way they can. And so it's better to cut your grass, plant some appealing flowers. These are all low-cost suggestions. Trim your hedges back, roll up your hose pipes, clean the yard up, put your wave runner or your four-wheeler that's on the trailer out front, move it around back, and allow the house to have some of that curb appeal that we talk about. That doesn't increase the value of the house. It increases the sellability of the house.
And people will want to walk inside if it looks good from the outside.
Right.
Okay.
There's a number of people that I show that absolutely, when we drive up to a house, they'll say, this one we're ruling out.
Yeah. You just pull right up and say, no, don't even want to go in. Well, Alan Graham, thank you for those helpful tips, and look forward to getting some more tips from you next week.
Excellent. Thanks, Don.
That was Alan Graham from Counts Real Estate, getting you smart on real estate. We'll be right back.